Welcome to a journey like no other. A journey into the very soul of Tibetan history and spirituality. Picture yourself standing amidst the towering peaks of the Himalayas, the wind whispering ancient secrets as it rushes through the valleys. The air here is thin, but rich with the echoes of centuries, carrying the chants of devoted monks that seem to resonate with the rhythm of the mountains themselves. Have you ever wondered what makes Tibet's monasteries so sacred? What draws pilgrims and seekers from every corner of the world? These monasteries are more than architectural marvels. They are living testaments to a culture rooted in devotion, resilience, and profound wisdom. They guard the stories of saints, scholars, and kings who dedicated their lives to shaping the spiritual foundation of a nation. But they also hold mysteries. Questions that linger in the silence of their prayer halls and the shadows of their ancient murals. Let us start with the iconic Potala Palace, once the winter home of the Dalai Lama. Perched high above Lhasa, this majestic structure is more than a symbol of Tibetan Buddhism. It's a bridge between the earthly and the divine. Each step up its steep staircases feels like a pilgrimage, and every corner of its vast halls whispers tales of compassion, meditation, and enlightenment. Then there's the Jokhang Temple, the spiritual heart of Tibet. Here, amidst the golden glow of butter lamps, pilgrims prostrate themselves in devotion. The sacred Jowo Rinpoche statue inside has drawn worshippers for over a millennium, embodying the aspirations of countless generations. The energy here is palpable, almost as if the temple itself breathes with the prayers of those who come seeking solace and blessings. Further into the highlands, you'll find monasteries like Sera, Drepung, and Ganden, each with its own unique legacy. Sera Monastery, for instance, is famed for its lively debates among monks, where the clapping of hands punctuates the air as they exchange ideas about philosophy and life's ultimate truths. It's a vibrant reminder that Tibetan Buddhism is not static. It's a living tradition that evolves with every question asked and every answer given. But beyond their grand walls and spiritual treasures, these monasteries are a reflection of Tibet's resilience. Through invasions, political upheavals, and cultural shifts, they have stood as guardians of a way of life that values peace, compassion, and harmony above all else. They are a testament to the indomitable spirit of a people who find strength in their faith and unity in their shared history. As we delve deeper into these sacred spaces, we uncover not just their historical significance, but also the profound spiritual teachings they offer, teachings that remind us to slow down, to listen, and to connect with the deeper truths within ourselves. So as you journey with us today, let these stories inspire you. Let the chants of the monks and the beauty of the Himalayas awaken something within you. A yearning to seek your own truth, a call to live with purpose, compassion, and mindfulness. The monasteries of Tibet are not just places. They are portals to a richer, more meaningful existence. This is not just a history lesson. It's an invitation to explore, to learn, and to be transformed. Welcome to the heart of Tibetan history and spirituality. Let's begin this journey together. To truly understand the grandeur and significance of Tibetan monasteries, we must journey back to their origins. Tibetan Buddhism is not just a branch of Buddhist thought. It's a profound synthesis of Indian Buddhist teachings and the ancient mystical practices of Tibet's indigenous Bon tradition. This union created a spiritual path as unique as the rugged mountains that cradle it, weaving a vibrant tapestry of philosophy, ritual, and art. One of the most extraordinary landmarks in this story is Samye Monastery, the very first monastery in Tibet. Built in the 8th century, Samye stands as more than an architectural masterpiece. It is the birthplace of Tibetan Buddhism itself. Imagine the determination it took to create such a marvel amidst the remote highlands of Tibet. Its design mirrors the Buddhist cosmological vision, with a central temple representing Mount Meru, the axis of the universe, surrounded by structures symbolizing continents and oceans. But what makes Samye truly awe-inspiring is not just its design or historical importance, it's the spirit it embodies. Samye represents a moment in time when a kingdom chose to embrace wisdom and compassion as guiding principles. It tells the story of resilience and creativity, of a culture that looked beyond the material and dared to explore the mysteries of existence. The foundation of Samye was no small feat. It was initiated by King Trisong Detsen, who invited Indian Buddhist master Shantarakshita to Tibet. Despite facing fierce resistance from local Bon priests, they persevered, enlisting the help of the legendary Padmasambhava, a tantric master revered as Guru Rinpoche. Together, they overcame obstacles both spiritual and earthly, and in doing so, they established not only a monastery, but a legacy that would shape Tibetan history. The teachings that took root at Samye were transformative. Here, monks and scholars gathered to study, meditate, and debate the intricacies of Buddhist philosophy. The walls of its temples became adorned with murals depicting sacred stories, the ceilings echoing with chants that still resonate today. Samye became a beacon, guiding Tibet through centuries of both triumph and turmoil. Beyond its historical role, Samye offers us something timeless. It reflects the essence of Tibetan culture, a profound creativity that harmonizes the sacred with the everyday, the worldly with the divine. The monastery stands as a testament to a people who found inspiration in the infinite, transforming even the challenges of their harsh environment into opportunities for spiritual growth. What lessons can we draw from Samye today? It reminds us of the importance of resilience, the courage to innovate while respecting tradition, and the enduring power of faith to unite and inspire. It shows us that no matter how daunting the path, human spirit and determination can create something extraordinary. As we explore the roots of Tibetan monasteries, let us not only marvel at their beauty and significance, but also reflect on the values they represent. Samye is more than a historical site. It's a living symbol of the transformative power of wisdom, compassion, and the unyielding quest for truth. Join us as we continue to uncover the stories, secrets, and spiritual treasures of Tibet's monasteries, each one a chapter in the rich history of Tibetan Buddhism. The Potala Palace is more than an icon of Tibetan Buddhism. It's a towering testament to the spirit of a people and a symbol of resilience, wisdom, and hope. Rising majestically above Lhasa, its white and red walls seem to touch the heavens, embodying the union of the earthly and the divine. But beyond its postcard-perfect facade lies a story of profound significance, a story that intertwines political intrigue, spiritual evolution, and cultural endurance. Originally built in the 7th century during the reign of King Songtsen Gampo, the Potala Palace began as a symbol of unity and strength. However, the structure we see today was reconstructed in the 17th century under the visionary leadership of the 5th Dalai Lama, often called the Great Fifth. He transformed it into the winter residence of the Dalai Lamas and the administrative and spiritual heart of Tibet. Imagine walking through its labyrinth of rooms, over 1,000 chambers filled with treasures of the past. Golden statues, ancient scriptures, intricate murals, and sacred relics whisper the stories of Tibet's spiritual journey. Every corner holds a piece of history, a glimpse into the profound devotion that has shaped Tibetan Buddhism for centuries. But the Potala Palace is more than a repository of artifacts. It is a symbol of Tibet's identity and resilience. For generations, it served not just as the home of the Dalai Lama, but as the beating heart of a nation. From its walls, decisions were made that shaped the destiny of Tibet, blending spiritual guidance with political strategy. It was here that the Dalai Lamas worked tirelessly to preserve the teachings of the Buddha while navigating the challenges of a complex and often tumultuous world. The story of the Potala Palace also reflects the trials Tibet has endured. From periods of peace and prosperity to moments of invasion and upheaval, this grand structure has stood as a silent witness to history. It endured the shifting tides of power, the threats to Tibetan sovereignty, and the efforts to preserve a culture deeply rooted in compassion and nonviolence. The Potala Palace also offers profound lessons for today. It reminds us of the importance of preserving cultural heritage, of standing firm in the face of adversity, and of the unyielding power of faith and wisdom to guide us through even the darkest times. Its walls, though silent, echo the prayers of generations seeking peace and enlightenment, a reminder that the spirit of a nation cannot be diminished by external forces. As we reflect on the story of the Potala Palace, we uncover the soul of Tibetan history. This is not just a building, it is a beacon of hope and a sanctuary of wisdom. It represents the enduring connection between a people and their faith, a bond that transcends time and space. Let the Potala Palace inspire us, not only as a marvel of architecture, but as a symbol of what is possible when faith, determination, and unity come together. Its story is the story of Tibet, a story of courage, compassion, and the unbroken quest for truth. Join us as we continue to explore the legacy of this extraordinary place and the lessons it offers for the world today. If the Potala Palace represents authority and leadership, the Jokhang Temple is the beating heart of Tibetan Buddhism. Located in the center of Lhasa, this sacred sanctuary transcends time and remains the spiritual epicenter of Tibetan faith. Its golden roof glimmers under the Himalayan sun, a beacon for those seeking blessings and enlightenment. But what makes Jokhang more than a historic site is the profound devotion it inspires, devotion so deep that pilgrims undertake journeys of hundreds, even thousands, of miles, bowing with every single step toward its gates. Picture the scene: men, women, and even children prostrating themselves in endless devotion, their foreheads touching the ground, their bodies stretched out in surrender. This pilgrimage is not simply an act of faith. It's a physical manifestation of their spiritual commitment, a journey of purification. Each bow, each step, is a prayer, a sacrifice, and a declaration of unwavering belief. But what drives such profound devotion? To answer this, we must explore the origins of the Jokhang Temple. Built in the 7th century by King Songtsen Gampo, it was constructed to house the sacred Jowo Rinpoche statue, a representation of the Buddha brought to Tibet by his Chinese bride, Princess Wencheng. The Jowo Rinpoche is not just a relic, it is the most revered object in Tibetan Buddhism, embodying the blessings of the Buddha himself. Pilgrims believe that simply being in its presence can cleanse karma, heal the soul, and bring spiritual transformation. Over the centuries, Jokhang has endured political upheaval, invasions, and cultural suppression, yet it stands resilient, its walls holding stories of hope and survival. Even during times of turbulence, when religious practice was suppressed, the temple remained a sanctuary for those who refused to let their faith waver. Monks and lay people risked everything to protect it, preserving its sacred treasures and continuing the practices that connect them to their ancestors and their faith. What's extraordinary about Jokhang is its energy, a palpable sense of sacredness that envelops all who enter. The scent of burning juniper mingles with the murmured prayers of pilgrims as butter lamps flicker in golden light. These rituals are not just acts of worship. They are an unbroken link to the past, a way of honoring traditions that have survived for over 1,000 years. The temple's endurance mirrors the resilience of Tibetan culture itself. Jokhang represents the soul of a people who have faced countless challenges, yet refuse to let go of their spiritual heritage. It's a reminder of the strength found in faith, the power of unity, and the enduring nature of hope. The devotion of the pilgrims, their long and arduous journeys, is not just about reaching a physical destination. It's about finding a deeper connection to something timeless, something sacred. As we reflect on the story of Jokhang, we see more than a temple. We see a legacy of compassion, wisdom, and the unshakable will of a culture to preserve its essence. Jokhang isn't just a building. It's a spiritual lifeline, a testament to the enduring power of faith in the face of adversity. Join us as we continue to explore the rich history of Tibetan Buddhism, its sacred spaces, and the lessons they offer for all of us. Jokhang Temple is not just the soul of Tibetan Buddhism. It's a light for the world, a reminder that even in the darkest times, faith and devotion can guide us home. Perched on the slopes of the Gambo Utsa mountain near Lhasa, Drepung Monastery once stood as the largest monastery in the world. But Drepung was more than just an architectural marvel or a center of prayer. It was a vibrant hub of scholarship, a university where Buddhist philosophy, science, and art flourished. Its halls echoed with the voices of scholars debating life's deepest questions, seeking not only answers but profound understanding. What made Drepung a beacon of wisdom, and how did it play a crucial role in preserving Tibetan knowledge during times of turmoil? Founded in 1416 by Jamyang Chodje, a disciple of Tsongkhapa, the founder of the Gelug school of Tibetan Buddhism, Drepung quickly rose to prominence as a seat of learning and spiritual practice. At its height, it housed over 10,000 monks, making it a city of wisdom where seekers from all over Tibet and beyond came to study. But Drepung was not only about numbers, it was about the depth of its teachings and the transformative power of knowledge. Imagine entering the assembly halls of Drepung, their vast spaces filled with rows of monks clad in saffron robes, chanting sacred texts or engaging in rigorous debate. These debates were not mere intellectual exercises. They were living dialogues that sharpened the mind, tested understanding, and deepened insight into the teachings of the Buddha. It was here that many Dalai Lamas received their education, including the great fifth Dalai Lama, who would later unify Tibet and establish the Potala Palace as his residence. Drepung was also a center for the study of Tibetan medicine, astrology, and linguistics. Its scholars preserved ancient texts, transcribed teachings, and ensured that the wisdom of generations would not be lost. This dedication to learning made Drepung a cornerstone of Tibetan culture, a place where the sacred and the scholarly met in harmony. But Drepung's journey was not without challenges. During times of political upheaval and cultural suppression, it became a symbol of resistance and resilience. Monks risked their lives to protect sacred texts and artifacts, smuggling them to safer locations or hiding them within the monastery itself. These efforts ensured that the spiritual and intellectual heritage of Tibet could survive even the darkest periods. Today, Drepung remains a symbol of hope and endurance. Though its community has diminished, its legacy as a center of learning and spiritual practice endures. Visitors to Drepung can still feel the energy of its past, the profound dedication of its monks, the echoes of debates that once filled its courtyards, and the wisdom that radiates from its walls. Drepung reminds us of the power of knowledge to transcend adversity. It teaches us that even in times of turmoil, wisdom and compassion can be preserved and passed on, lighting the way for future generations. Its story is not just one of Tibetan history, but a universal testament to the enduring value of education and the unbreakable spirit of those who seek truth. As we reflect on the legacy of Drepung Monastery, we are reminded of its profound contributions to the preservation of Tibetan knowledge and culture. It stands as a beacon of wisdom, a place where the sacred and the intellectual come together to inspire all who seek deeper understanding. Join us as we continue to uncover the stories of Tibet's sacred sites, where history and spirituality merge into something truly timeless. Throughout history, Tibetan monasteries have stood as bastions of faith, wisdom, and culture. From the heights of the Himalayas to the windswept plateaus, they have witnessed centuries of change. Yet their most trying times came during the 20th century, from the Cultural Revolution to modern political challenges. These trials could have erased their legacy, but instead, the monasteries have endured, their resilience a testament to the unyielding spirit of Tibetan Buddhism. How have these sacred institutions survived such adversity? And what role do they play today in Tibet and the global Buddhist community? To understand their survival, we must look at the very foundation of Tibetan monasteries. More than places of worship, they are centers of learning, meditation, and community life. For centuries, they have been the heart of Tibetan culture, preserving its language, art, and traditions. Monks and nuns not only study Buddhist philosophy, but also serve as custodians of ancient manuscripts, caretakers of sacred rituals, and teachers for the next generation. During the Cultural Revolution, these monasteries faced unprecedented destruction. Temples were razed, statues dismantled, and scriptures burned. Yet, even in the face of such devastation, the spirit of these monasteries endured. Monks and lay people risked everything to hide sacred texts, smuggle artifacts to safety, and continue their spiritual practices in secret. This quiet resistance ensured that the heart of Tibetan Buddhism remained alive, even in exile. The resilience of Tibetan monasteries also lies in their adaptability. As many monks fled Tibet, they established monastic communities abroad, particularly in India, Nepal, and Bhutan. These new monasteries became centers of preservation, where teachings, rituals, and traditions were safeguarded. They opened their doors to students from around the world, sharing the wisdom of Tibetan Buddhism far beyond its borders. Today, these monasteries act as bridges between cultures, fostering understanding and compassion on a global scale. In modern Tibet, monasteries continue to be a source of inspiration and identity. They provide spiritual guidance in a rapidly changing world, offering a sense of continuity and stability. For many Tibetans, these monasteries are symbols of resilience and hope, reminding them of their rich heritage and the enduring power of their faith. Globally, Tibetan monasteries play an increasingly significant role in the Buddhist community. They are centers of pilgrimage, education, and interfaith dialogue. The teachings of Tibetan Buddhism, emphasizing compassion, mindfulness, and the interconnectedness of all beings, resonate deeply in today's world, attracting seekers from diverse backgrounds. Tibetan monasteries have become a source of wisdom for anyone seeking to navigate the complexities of modern life with clarity and purpose. The secret to their survival lies in their profound connection to the values they uphold: resilience, compassion, and wisdom. These monasteries have endured because they are more than buildings. They are living embodiments of a spiritual tradition that transcends time and space. Their survival is a testament to the power of faith and community, showing us that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit can rise above and preserve what is truly sacred. As we reflect on the journey of Tibetan monasteries, we see not just their struggles but their triumphs. They have emerged stronger, more connected, and more relevant than ever. Their story is one of hope, resilience, and the unbroken thread of Tibetan history. Join us as we continue to explore the enduring legacy of these sacred institutions and the lessons they offer for a world in search of peace and meaning. Tibetan monasteries are more than monuments to the past. They are living, breathing communities that continue to play a vital role in preserving and sharing a rich spiritual heritage. Rooted in centuries-old traditions, these sacred institutions now navigate the complexities of the modern world, blending ancient wisdom with contemporary relevance. Through global initiatives, Tibetan monasteries have become beacons of compassion, mindfulness, and resilience. But how do they adapt to change while staying true to their roots? Let's explore their evolving role in today's world. Imagine stepping into a Tibetan monastery today. The air is filled with the deep resonance of chanting monks, while young novices study scriptures under the watchful eyes of their teachers. In another corner, a senior monk conducts a virtual teaching, reaching students thousands of miles away. This blend of timeless rituals and modern tools illustrates how monasteries are embracing change while safeguarding their spiritual essence. Many Tibetan monasteries have become hubs for global outreach, offering teachings on mindfulness, meditation, and the principles of compassion to an increasingly connected world. Programs like those led by the Dalai Lama and prominent Tibetan teachers bring ancient Buddhist practices into corporate boardrooms, educational institutions, and even healthcare settings. These teachings resonate deeply, providing tools for managing stress, fostering emotional intelligence, and cultivating kindness in a fast-paced world. Yet these monasteries remain deeply committed to their traditional roles. They continue to serve as centers of prayer, meditation, and study, preserving the sacred texts, rituals, and philosophies that have defined Tibetan Buddhism for centuries. Monastic debates still echo through their courtyards, and intricate sand mandalas are painstakingly created as offerings of impermanence and beauty. One way they balance tradition with modernity is through education. Monasteries have expanded their curricula to include modern sciences, languages, and technology, ensuring that monks and nuns are equipped to engage with the world while staying grounded in their spiritual foundations. This integration has fostered a new generation of Tibetan monastics who are both scholars and ambassadors, capable of sharing their wisdom with diverse audiences. The global spread of Tibetan monasteries has also played a critical role in their evolution. Exiled monastic communities in India, Nepal, and beyond have become centers for cultural preservation and innovation. They have welcomed students and practitioners from around the world, creating a vibrant exchange of ideas while safeguarding their traditions. These monasteries serve as bridges, connecting people to the profound teachings of Tibetan Buddhism regardless of their background. However, this journey of adaptation is not without challenges. Tibetan monasteries face the task of preserving their identity in a rapidly changing world. Balancing tradition with modern demands requires thoughtful leadership and a steadfast commitment to their core values of compassion, mindfulness, and interconnectedness. As we reflect on their journey, it becomes clear that Tibetan monasteries are not static relics. They are dynamic institutions that inspire and adapt. Their ability to thrive in the modern world while staying true to their roots is a testament to the strength of Tibetan culture and spirituality. Tibetan monasteries today remind us of the enduring relevance of ancient wisdom. They offer solutions to modern challenges, not through technology alone, but by nurturing inner peace, emotional resilience, and compassion. Their story is not just one of survival, but of evolution, a powerful example of how tradition can illuminate the path forward in an ever-changing world. Join us as we continue to explore the incredible journey of Tibetan monasteries, where history meets modernity and where timeless teachings continue to transform lives across the globe. Tibetan monasteries are far more than architectural wonders perched atop mountains or nestled in serene valleys. They are living symbols of resilience, faith, and cultural identity, standing firm through centuries of change and challenge. Their stories are deeply interwoven with the spirit of the Tibetan people, their unwavering devotion, and their profound wisdom. But as we reflect on the legacy of these sacred spaces, what lessons can we draw for our own lives? How can we honor their timeless teachings in a world that rarely pauses to reflect? Each monastery tells a story, not just of stone walls or golden roofs, but of an unbroken lineage of faith and perseverance. Despite political upheavals, invasions, and cultural shifts, these monasteries have endured, preserving the teachings of the Buddha, Tibetan language, art, and tradition. Their resilience is a testament to the power of community and the strength found in shared purpose. This is a lesson for all of us. Even in the face of adversity, when our values are clear and our purpose is strong, we too can endure and thrive. But these monasteries are not merely relics of the past. They pulse with life, offering a sanctuary of peace and introspection in an increasingly chaotic world. Within their walls, monks chant ancient prayers, create intricate sand mandalas, and engage in rigorous philosophical debates. These practices remind us of the importance of patience, discipline, and mindfulness, qualities that are all too often lost in the rush of modern life. The devotion embodied by Tibetan monasteries is perhaps their most profound lesson. Imagine the pilgrims who journey for weeks, even months, to visit these sacred sites. Some prostrate themselves with every step, enduring physical hardship for the sake of spiritual connection. Their commitment inspires us to reflect on our own dedication. What do we value deeply enough to pursue with such devotion? How often do we take time to connect with something greater than ourselves? As the world moves faster and becomes more interconnected, Tibetan monasteries also teach us the importance of balance. They exemplify the harmony between tradition and innovation, between the sacred and the practical. By preserving their spiritual practices while embracing modern education and technology, they show us that it is possible to adapt without losing our essence. This is a lesson for individuals and societies alike. Change does not mean abandoning who we are. It can mean becoming even more authentic and purposeful. Perhaps the greatest gift of Tibetan monasteries is their reminder to look inward. In a world full of distractions, they urge us to slow down, to listen, to find peace within ourselves. The teachings of compassion, mindfulness, and interconnectedness that flow from these sacred spaces are universal. They encourage us to act with kindness, to approach life with clarity, and to seek meaning beyond material success. To honor the legacy of Tibetan monasteries is to embrace these lessons in our own lives. It means finding moments of stillness amidst the noise, nurturing our inner resilience, and fostering a sense of connection to the world around us. It means living with purpose, guided by values that uplift not only ourselves, but those we encounter. As we reflect on the